I want to welcome today new friend of mine, Malia McHugh from Hinton. Um, First thing I got to say is, not bad for a Hinton girl. Uh, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. We just got back a couple weeks ago. You were down in Florida on the trip to, you know, on Scholastic Duels trip. What are some of the things that really stick out in your mind about that trip?
The people, it was really fun getting to be around such high class wrestlers, like Monster being my coach. Like it was just a really cool experience, I think.
Yeah, I wrote down Monster as one of my little points I want to talk about. You really hit it off with Monster.
Yeah, we still
Man,
talk
one of
a lot.
yeah,
Like I was just talking to her earlier today.
yeah, she is one of she's one of those girls that really excelled, in Iowa girls wrestling and stuff. What was it like to have her, very young coach, but good coach? Her wrestling IQ is through the roof. She knows the sport. But what was it like having Monster in your corner?
I don't know. It was like I felt surreal kind of like getting to be, especially not even just be around her, but like her being in my corner. It was really cool. And like getting to like talk to her like outside of just wrestling is it's really cool.
Yeah. And so the event itself, how'd you finish up? I know you had a pretty
I
good
did
tournament.
Yeah, I did pretty good. I went 10-1. The one match I lost was from a chin whip, but
I
can't really
think
do much about that.
yeah, I think Joel was down there and you asked him about that and what did he tell you? What did Joel tell you about chin webs? Do you remember?
I don't know. I get caught in them all the time. That's all I really
I
know.
think he said I think he said something about don't put your head in that spot.
Probably.
That's your defense for it. Um, let's talk about outside of the wrestling. What are some of the things you did down in Florida?
Well, we were at the beach a lot. We went to different like food places. It was really cool. Like all the ice cream shops were really good. We had a few like really good ones. We went to the extreme, I think it was the Extreme Center or whatever it was,
Yep, yep.
with like the go-karting and the arcade and the bowling. That was a lot of fun too.
But of course, your favorite thing to do is the sunrise at the
Oh yeah, that
beach.
was really cool too.
That's
It was
absolutely my
early,
favorite
but
thing to do down there. Yeah, you got to get out of bed, which I don't go to bed very early, so getting up kind of sucks, but it's something I never miss out on. The Hinton team, man, you guys had a really good team, and you're looking at like having an excellent team this year going
yeah,
into like state duels.
I'm really
What,
excited for state duels.
yeah, what do you think? What's like the vibe of the Hinton team?
They're all very welcoming, especially like since I didn't start wrestling up at hand until my eighth grade year. And so like I was still pretty new to wrestling because I started in seventh grade. So it was only my second year wrestling. They were all very welcoming, very nice, super easy to talk to, like very helpful. Yeah.
And you wrestle a tough schedule at Hinton, and you had a
Yeah.
great year. I believe 41-11. That's a hell of a
Yeah.
freshman year. Qualified for state. Probably had one of the crappiest draws you could have had at state, but still, I mean, you got to
Pretty
wrestle who
rough.
you got to wrestle. But as far as like having like Joel in the corner, Joel is a good friend of mine. We're friendly rivals, because we're in the same area and stuff. But what's Joel like to have in the corner?
He's super, super helpful. Like out even outside of wrestling, like he's really easy to talk to and he's super like understanding and like anytime I have a problem, I always go to him. Like even outside of season when I'm like struggling with like other wrestling things, like not even during like high school season, he's always there to help me.
Yeah, he's such a good guy. When I was asked to find somebody to work with the middle school, it was like no brainer.
Yeah.
I knew Joel to be the guy to take down there. Um, I see in the background you have the purple
My
shark.
shark.
Yeah, my wife will love seeing that. Uh, when you got that, what was, they kind of give that to the cheerleader, the leader of the team. Uh, how was that? I mean, what do you think you got that award?
Well, I was definitely the loudest on our team. I also feel like I don't know. I mean, I lost my voice if that says anything. I had no voice left by the end of Florida. But I don't know. I was always cheering them all on, like helping them when they lost. Like, yeah.
Nice. And let's kind of go back. You said you started wrestling in seventh grade. Why did you start wrestling in seventh grade?
My brother has wrestled my whole life, and he ended up actually going to state 3 years, like individuals. He wasn't on varsity his freshman year, but he was on varsity for his other three and qualified all 3 years. They also went for state duels 4 years, like all 4 of his years he went to state duels. And I don't know, my dad also wrestled too. So it was like I just have a really big wrestling family. Like all my cousins, like Jaina Turwee, she's a state
Yep.
champ. She's really helpful too. I talk to her a lot about wrestling, but I don't know, one of my school friends, Zoe Tomlinson, she also was on varsity this year. She she was trying to get me to go out so bad. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll try it. And I ended up really liking it.
So at what point, so you go out to try it, right? At what point did you like to figure out that it was a sport that you really liked, that's something that you want to pursue?
Probably by the end of eighth grade year, I ended up only losing 2 matches my whole eighth grade year. And then like during season.
Hmm.
And then I went to AAU State my seventh grade and eighth grade year. Seventh grade year didn't go good, but it was my first year wrestling, so I'm not really surprised. And then eighth grade year, I ended up placing sixth. So I don't know. That was probably when I was like, yeah, like I like this sport a lot.
What I'm sure you had some preconceived notions of what wrestling was from watching your
Yeah.
brother and watching the team. What surprised you about maybe girls wrestling that you didn't think was going to be?
Probably the practices. They're pretty difficult. I don't think I was expecting it to put me into shape as much as it does. Like, I don't know, they definitely build my endurance. Like for all my other sports, like my endurance is probably a lot better than a lot of the other girls like during track season. Like my endurance is already built because wrestling built it right before track season.
And was there a point? So stepping up from eighth grade to freshman year, there's a big jump there, a huge jump.
Yeah.
Um, was there like a moment when you realized that, hey, I can do this, I can wrestle at this level?
I don't know. The beginning of the season it was that was probably where most of my losses came from was the beginning of the season before I started really like understanding how high school wrestling worked. But then once I started getting the hang of it, I was like, oh yeah, this is easy.
So that I know you go to the same tournament we do over in Fort Dodge, that dual tournament.
Oh yeah,
That's oh, and the reason I even go there is kind of to make sure that people understand what they have, the standard that they have to live up to. Do you remember that tournament and kind
I
of
do.
what was going through your head after that? Because I know a lot of my kids go, "Holy crap, what was that?"
It was a really tough tournament, but I think I only ended up losing one match there, if I'm right. I might have lost two, but I think I only lost one match. And it was pretty, yeah, there were some tough girls.
Um, one of the things that I like to talk about because it's helpful for me as a coach, helpful for any girls listening to this. You had lost, I think, semifinals at regionals. I believe that's where the loss
Yes,
was,
I lost semifinals against
and
Grace.
came back and got third,
Yep.
and then had to do that wrestle back. When you lose a tough match like that, something that that that's man, might not reach my goal now. How do you get ready from that loss to come back and wrestle, not only just for third place, but then to come back and wrestle for a wrestle back at second?
I was pretty upset after that third place match, like semifinals. But Joel, like after I lost it, he came up to me, he was like, Malia, you have 5 minutes to be upset, and then you have to get your head back in the game because you might have a wrestle back. And I was like, it's like, okay. So I took 5 minutes to like kind of calm down a little bit. And then I was like, okay, I need to go watch their finals match. And I was cheering Grace on because I was like, I really want her to win so that I can have a wrestle back. And I've also wrestled Maya, the girl who I ended up having to wrestle again, I wrestled her before at the Spencer tournament, I'm pretty sure, and she won. So it was like, I have to like really try on this match. Like I've since I already knew how she wrestled, I knew like how I had to react in it, if that makes any sense.
Yep, no, I understand that. Confidence plays such a big role in wrestling.
Yeah.
How have you found confidence? I mean, to win 41 matches, to go to the state tournament as a freshman, how have you found confidence within yourself?
Really like everyone around me, I'd say. they help build that confidence a lot, especially my partners. Like they're all of them are my whole team, they're always there for me, especially after my losses. Like they're really good at picking you back up and just feel more confident, I guess.
Who are your practice partners that push you every day?
Was Anita Gant.
Uh-huh.
She's the one who probably helped me realize that wrestling is like a sport that I like. She was the one who helped me like my whole eighth grade season. She was my partner. My whole like last summer, like going into freshman year, I did the Morningside camp like all summer at Morningside Wrestling, and she was my partner for that too. So she really helped. She helped me build my confidence and build my technique pretty much. But this year, my whole freshman year, it's been Charlie Kunkel. She has also pushed me way past my limits. She has helped me get a lot better. I feel like if I wouldn't have had either of them as partners, I don't think I would be as good as I am.
Yeah, she's very experienced, tough wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, having her every day in practice kind of probably practices harder than most of your meets, having her in your,
Oh,
every day as your practice
yeah,
partner.
we actually, me and her at the end of the season at the banquet, we ended up getting like the hardest workers like in the whole wrestling room because me and her would go at it. Like Kylie, one of my coaches, she was like, "Are you guys like okay?" Because like half the practices we would hurt each other just from how aggressive we were being. Uh,
So outside of wrestling, what are some of the things that you like to do?
Gymnastics is one of my main sports. I've been doing it since I was 4. So I do it 9 hours a week, three-hour practices a week. I also do track. I run hurdles, which it can be very difficult. I do 400 hurdles, which is not a fun
That's a
race,
No, that's not a
but
fun race.
yeah. But gymnastics, it helps like it's made me like I'm super flexible from it, so it helps me a lot with wrestling, with my flexibility and like it's easier I feel like to not pin me as much because I'm flexible, so it's easier for me to get out of it.
And that transition from gymnastics to wrestling, the body awareness,
Yeah.
you know where you're at in weird
Yeah.
situations. What are some of the things like gymnastics when, I grew up a long time ago in Iowa, small town Iowa. We didn't have, you know, Olympic style gymnastics events. It was more tumbling and things like that. I
Yeah.
did 1 year of tumbling, 1 year of tap. I was amazing, probably like 7 or 8 years old. So, that's all I needed. They just said, "Hey, you're too good." But um, as far as what do you like gymnastics? Because you're doing like floor and beam and all those. What's your favorite? What's your favorite about all those?
Probably it's probably between vault and bars. I used to like floor a lot, but then I started not being as good as floor compared to my other events. So I like vault a lot, but I also really like bars.
What's the hardest event?
For me, probably floor, but that's just because I get really bad mental blocks. So some skills are just harder to go for than other skills.
What is like I watch beam. I love watching gymnastics in the Olympics and stuff like that. Uh, Beam has got to be mentally probably the toughest thing, which also probably helps you prepare. What's it like to
Yeah,
try to land something on what is it about,
4 inches.
4 inches? Holy crap. How is it? How do you learn even to land something on a 4 inch on a 4 inch
It's hard.
space?
It's hard. I've been working since I was 4, so it's like I just kind of grew up around it, but still trying to learn how to do some things on the beam.
Gotcha. Um, what's something, not sports, that we would never guess about Malia?
Hmm. I like working out a lot, but that's just kind of something I do in my free time with my friends. I also love dogs. Like anything about dogs. I love dogs. Like I love being around animals in general. Like I just love being around dogs.
So I'm assuming you probably have a dog or two or
I have
10.
8. I have eight
8?
dogs. Yeah.
Wow. What kind of dogs do you have then?
Okay. At my mom's house, I have a Pomapoo, which is a Pomeranian toy poodle. And then I have, so he's a little dog, a little one. And then I have a
Yep.
Beauceron, which is like a French Shepherd. He's gorgeous. He's my dog. He's my brother's dog, but he's really pretty. And then at my dad's house, I have 3 pit bulls, two Aussies, and then a golden doodle.
Nice. The pit bulls. I mean, a lot of people have that stigma about pit bulls. I have American bullies, so kind of in that same bully family. Um,
Yeah.
Probably some of the sweetest dogs you'll ever be
I
around.
love pit bulls.
Out
I
of
love them.
all eight of them, what is probably the most cuddly, the clingy, the which dog is it that's
Probably my pit bull Kane. He knows how to open doors. So like last night I was trying to go to bed. He opens that door and he just comes lays on my face and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he loves sleeping with me. He loves cuddling.
he has like no boundary issues at all then,
No.
huh? He
He
lets
doesn't know what personal space is.
not at all. Um, let's talk about food because obviously wrestling
Okay.
and food go hand in hand. You talked about ice cream down in Florida. Is ice cream that one thing of yours that you absolutely love?
Probably. For sweets, probably ice cream. But like
What's
for like normal food, probably chicken Alfredo. Especially from
chicken
Olive
Alfredo?
Garden.
All
Yep.
right, okay. Let's get to important stuff like ice cream is important. So, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
That's hard. Probably either cookie dough or bunny tracks.
All right. Wells, you're a Wells Blue Bunny area person, so of course we gotta have the bunny tracks, right? After weigh-ins, that's something that we have to get, especially as a freshman, you had to kind of learn what to eat, what to do. What do you eat after weigh-ins? Let's say the 2 hour tournament weigh-in.
Protein balls, for sure. Protein balls. Each tournament, our team, like the girls, we would each take turns, like what family brings protein balls. We would just bring a huge container of protein balls.
Any what's your drink of choice?
Ooh, probably a blue Gatorade.
Blue Gatorade, gotcha.
Or usually after weigh-ins, I bring the strawberry kiwi Pedialytes.
Okay, that's good. That's a good one. Pedialyte is kind of one of those go-tos for all wrestlers.
Yep.
Now in the afternoons, when you weigh in, you got 1 hour. Is there anything that you specifically have, right after weigh-ins to get ready for that quick turnaround?
Okay, usually like when I wrestle, this probably isn't good for me, but I usually can't eat like much. Like during a wrestling tournament, like I can only eat very little things like a granola bar or like protein balls, like I said. I can't eat like peanut butter and jelly probably would not end up well. Like I have a super sensitive stomach, so I have to be careful with what I eat.
Otherwise, you might make a mess.
Yeah.
Joel's gonna have to clean the mat up. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So you already mentioned Olive Garden and the chicken Alfredo. But if you could go out to eat anywhere, absolutely anywhere, where would you go and what would you have?
Probably would be Olive Garden. After every weigh-ins, like for state tournaments, I always go to Olive Garden and get chicken Alfredo with a ton of breadsticks and chicken gnocchi soup and a Shirley Temple.
Anna Shirley Temple. You hit the hard
That's
stuff then, right? We'll have to hold you back a little bit. Vacations.
Ooh.
Obviously, you just got back from a vacation, but do you have a bucket list vacation, someplace that you really want to go?
I don't know. I really like anywhere that's like beach. I love water. I love the sun. Anything tropical. I mean, I've already been to Florida, obviously, and Turks and Caicos in Mexico. So I feel like that's probably like the basic ones, but I don't know.
I'm with you there. I'm not going to take a vacation where I'm going to be cold. I can do that
Yeah.
all year long. Or up in, I can do that all winter long in Iowa. And I'm really not going on a vacation where I have to go hiking in a mountain or anything like that. That's silly. I'm gonna go float my big old butt out in the water and enjoy the beach. Um, I know it's early in your career. You've only been wrestling a few years. Do you think you might want to wrestle in college?
I've been thinking about it when I first, like, probably during eighth grade season or like the beginning of freshman season, I was always like, I don't want to wrestle in college. I don't want to do it in college. But like after the season and how like making it to state, like getting to go to Florida, like I've like started to like be kind of more open to the idea of going to college for it. So I think I decided like if I start like continuing to progress in wrestling and like start placing at state, like I probably will end up going to college for it. 'Cause I feel like girls wrestling is still like pretty new. So it's like there's a lot of places that would want you to be on the wrestling team.
So, do you know what you want to be yet when you grow up? I mean, if you don't, it's okay because I still don't. I'll figure it out sooner or later. But what are you thinking?
I think I want to be in the medical field, probably a nurse, but that's a lot of school. A lot of
Yeah,
school. So I don't know.
but a lot of opportunities there if you want to wrestle and go to school. Of
Yeah.
course, it's also hard. It's not an easy thing to become, but there is options. You ever thought about coaching or officiating after you're all done?
I didn't start thinking about it until I think Monster, until she started coaching. Like I had her in Florida. I was like, it seems fun. Like I'm always the loudest. Like I'm always really loud on the bench. I love cheering for other people. Even if they're not even on my team, I still end up cheering for them. So I don't know. It actually might be something I might look into.
I think you'd be really good at it. I think coaching. I could see coaching in your future. Um, a lot of younger girls coming up in Hinton, and you started just in seventh grade, so
Yeah.
not, man, some of them young kids are going to be just so incredibly good by the time they get up there. But obviously, as high school wrestlers, you guys are role models for the younger ones. What are you hoping that your story of, maybe starting in seventh grade, and I know we're not very far into your career yet, what are you hoping they take away from your kind of your story?
That like honestly, if you put in the work, you can get where you want to get. Like it takes time, but that time passes super fast. Like even being able to go to state my freshman year is like crazy to me. Like I've only been wrestling for 3 years, so it's like just crazy. Like getting second at regionals, like I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's really good. It is good, and it's you're a fun person to be around. So I mean, I'm sure that they kind of are drawn to you and stuff. So it's important. It's important to be that role model. But how about when you get old and you're old and gray like Joel and I, and you're sitting around on the porch, you're drinking your tea, you're yelling at some kids for getting off your lawn. What do you think you're going to remember most about wrestling?
Probably how like how it showed me how hard I can push myself, like physically and mentally. Like I don't think I've ever done anything in my life that's like push myself to the limits that I've pushed myself to with wrestling.
And what is something that wrestling has taught you? There's many lessons in wrestling, but what's something wrestling has taught you?
It's taught me that you gotta work hard. Like it's not something that you can just slack off on. Like life is hard and you gotta keep pushing. It's like you'll get there eventually, but it's just a grind. You gotta go.
Now, you started in seventh grade because your friends kind of pushed you into it, and it's something obviously you've done well at. You really like it. If you were back in seventh grade and some of your other friends, how would you convince maybe a seventh grader now to go out for wrestling?
I don't know. I feel like probably like it's really fun. Like you'll like the people you meet, it's a really fun experience getting to see the people that you become friends with just through a sport. Like I don't know, like it's very you get to experience so much that you wouldn't get to experience if you weren't in wrestling.
Now, just a few things left for you, but kind of the harder questions. When I first started coaching girls, it's been about 12 years ago. The term wrestle like a girl was very derogatory. It
Yeah.
was it was meant to put someone down. Obviously not anymore. The sport has saved, girls women's wrestling has saved the sport of wrestling. Uh, the numbers are climbing and everything, and the level of girls wrestling is just incredible. What do you think it means now to wrestle like a girl?
To be tough, to show them that you know what you're doing and that it's you're tough. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I honestly kind of take it as a compliment now, but
As you should. It's amazing the level of wrestling, and probably even throughout the year you've seen, man, how good are some of the kids that are wrestling. I mean, and you're right there with them, but then you look at some of those younger ones coming up, and especially the Hinton team. Man, there's a lot of eighth graders, freshmen coming in that are just outstanding, and just to see the
like
level rising right in front of your eyes.
I know some of the girls that are younger, they're definitely going places like Jayla Swanson. She's
Yeah.
going places. She's by high school, she's gonna be good.
Oh
Same for
yeah. Yeah.
Anita.
And Anita's had a heck of a year, and I think she's headed to Fargo here shortly. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited to watch the Hinton team also. Yeah, we're pretty close in proximity, but also, Joel and I are good friends, and I know a lot of
Yeah.
you girls. So, hardest question I'm going to ask you, and we have discussed this ahead of time. So if we end up going with what I said originally, that's perfect. But making those thumbnails for the YouTube videos and stuff, that tagline, that's hard to come up with. What's something that you can think of? Maybe how would you define your career so far? Like, is there struggles, or what do you think would be a good tagline there?
Probably what you said, not bad for a hitting girl, especially since it's like I didn't start off wrestling for Hinton, but now that I'm wrestling for Hinton, I don't think I could ever go back to not wrestling for them.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows, that was a kind of a joke between us two. It started that way. And now, Joel's even kind of embraced it, and maybe there'll be shirts next year, who knows?
We need to get him one.
I think we can. You'll have to let me know. If not, I'll get him a shirt that first, because we're coming to your dual tournament this year, so it'll be.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Last year, I think we only had two teams there. Two teams there.
Yeah, I think he's got a couple extra teams coming this year. Well, as soon as I found out you had that and I didn't have to drive to Okoboji, I was like, "Oh yeah, we'll be there. We will be there. That'll be fun, especially with state duels. You have to get as many duels in as
Yeah,
possible to kind of see where we're at." So,
I'm excited
um,
for state duels.
yeah, that's gonna be really cool that's there. I wish there was more teams involved. I don't exactly like how they drew it up.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll change in the future, but I am excited to see how that grows in the future. Last thing I always do is kind of a final thoughts. It can be anything, typically wrestling related, obviously. Um, but the floor is yours, and I know you like to yap, so go ahead and give us some hint and wisdom.
I don't know. I feel like wrestling, it's a very, very fun sport, but like very hard. If you want to find something that's gonna push your limits, I would definitely try wrestling. It's like it's made me so much more disciplined. It's made me like work a lot harder than I think I've ever worked before. It's just a really fun experience. The people you get to meet are so cool. Like especially like I'm gonna mention Monster again. Like having her like being a coach, but like seeing her wrestle like in the past, like it's just so cool to meet all these like higher level wrestlers, and I don't know. I really like it. I really love wrestling.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really truly enjoyed getting to know you down in Florida. It was fun. Part of the reason I do this podcast itself is because I want people to know that not just those top two or three wrestlers at each weight. Everybody has their own story, right? And
Yeah.
you're a fun kid to be around. You're fun, and you do a really good job on the mat as well. But I want to introduce people to people like yourself. So thank you very much for doing this. Um,
Yes.
for sure, hold on a second because I got a few favors to ask of you. But I think we're done for the day. Appreciate it, and we will see you
Thank
soon.
you.